In today's video, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol TEM, also known as Tempest AI. There has been significant news with regard to a $200 million deal and also a $70 price target. This is a stock that has been featured on a number of occasions on the channel, so stay tuned for further details. And then we're going to be looking at MMTLP and news coming through that the Trump team have heard about MMTLP, so stay tuned for details of that. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in terms of the market. So from Yahoo Finance, we can see right now the stock market is rallying, and this rally is continuing now for the third day in a row, so good news there. I think Trump has gone some way to ease some of the fears. From Bloomberg, we can see stocks are climbing, and one of the key hopes is that the Fed cuts are going to take place potentially in June. So let's see how that develops. Now he's not under a threat of losing his job from Trump, but what we can see in terms of the percentage, there is a 62% chance of a Fed cut in June, so it is looking more and more likely. Hopefully that develops. From Reuters, we can see the S&P 500 and Nasdaq are inching higher on tech boost. Earnings are also going to be huge this week. And finally, in terms of China, stocks are still rising as the China-US relations dispute is continuing. It's still not yet resolved, and I think that is the huge catalyst in the market that is yet to come. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as the daily stock alerts, and these include LEAS up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding. If you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's start by having a look at ticker symbol TEM, also known as Tempest AI, the stock that has been recently featured on the channel, so go ahead and check out the previous videos. But breaking news shared in the Discord live yesterday was with regard to a $200 million multi-year deal with AZN, also known as AstraZeneca, and this was to build one of oncology's largest multimodal AI models. So let's have a look at the breakthrough in terms of the press release. We can see here Tempest signs an expanded strategic agreements with AstraZeneca and Pathos to develop the largest multimodal foundation model in oncology. So this is extremely bullish. It's Tempest AI have a huge moat that they can monetize with agentic AI, so that gives them a significant advantage. And obviously this deal with AstraZeneca and Pathos is to build the foundation of AI model in oncology. So the company are going to receive $200 million in licensing and development fees. So we can also see here news shared in our new live dating, trading and alert section. News with regard to beyond the numbers, 9 analysts discussing Tempest AI. So before we look at that, let's have a look at the original news that we shared, why we were interested in Tempest AI. And it's all down to one of the best traders in the market by the name of Nancy Pelosi. She bought Tempest TEM AI calls at $15.15 on January the 14th, 2025. And she's literally making millions out of that. But let's have a look at the 9 analysts. So we can see here total ratings in terms of bullish, 5, last 30 days, 1, 1 month ago, 2, 2 months ago, 1, and 3 months ago, 1. So obviously overall there are no bearish, and no somewhat bearish, and we can see that is obviously positive there for Tempest AI. So if we decipher the analyst ratings with an in-depth analysis, we can see here key insights include action taken, recommendations in terms of changing market conditions and market performance, whether they maintain or lower their stance. And in terms of the ratings, analysts have provided quantitative assessments ranging from outperform to underperform, and Tempest AI compared to the broader market is certainly doing much better. And the price target we're going to look at now, and obviously extremely bullish there. So in terms of the finances, before we look at the price target, we can see in terms of market cap, they are well positioned in terms of the industry benchmark. Their revenue growth obviously is growing. We've just got this $200 million deal. Obviously, in terms of the overall company, it's still a small cap stock. It's still developing, and it's one of those businesses, if you are in it and long term, once they develop, you could certainly make your money on this. So let's finally finish off by having a look at the price target. If we have a look at the price target here, we can see breaking news also shared live in the Discord was from Needham, and they reiterated a buy on Tempest with a $70 price target, so quite a significant upside there for TEM. But before we look at news in terms of MMTL and the Trump team, shout out here to Greg is Kitty, who's posted breaking news with regard to the SEC, and he states here, Paul Atkins has been officially sworn in as the SEC chairman. And I think what's interesting in this post is the highlighted section in the image, and it states here then, with respect to naked shorting, that's a huge issue. These are words from Paul Atkins, and unfortunately not yet done. So hopefully he works on this statement here with regard to naked shorting. So from the SEC Gov Twitter handle or X handle, we can see he's now sworn in as the 34th chairman of the SEC, and hopefully he does a much better job than the previous cop on the street who did absolutely nothing. And a response here from Gray, he states, will he actually make a difference, resolve MMTLP created by FINRA? That's the obviously MMTLP fiasco. Will there be an enforcement and settlement of trades? And will they allow NextBridge Hydrocarbons to complete the S1 filing, which is long delayed? So shout out here to X Market News, who've stated Retail United Advocacy Group have just sent a letter to the SEC Chair Paul Atkins, urging obviously a resolution for MMTLP shareholders. So let's have a quick look at the letter. So we can see here they're asking for 3 things in terms of them to investigate the circumstances with regard to U3 halt, naked shorting, manipulation of MMTLP, audit of the shares, and the handling of investor protection, and obviously a resolution to help all investors. I'd like to now give a shout out to Busy Brands and also the Right Brain Trader. So there was a very significant post from the Right Brain Trader, but what Busy Brands has stated in terms of MMTLP, just got the word that the video by the Right Brain Trader made its way all the way to the Mar-a-Lago, and this is obviously to the Trump team. Receipt of the conversation with my context was sent to RBT, the Right Brain Trader, and good job RBT. So that's tremendous news. So let's have a look at a response from the Right Brain Trader. And first of all, he stated here he has a series of strategic messages coming out. He thinks Starbucks has a great angle there, so he will be strategically laced into the message. So it looks like he'll be following through, and he's only going to be addressing Big Daddy Trump and the people really close to him. So that is extremely bullish. And special credit to the Right Brain Trader for doing this for the whole of the MMTLP community. But what he's asked here is, I need all documents. Screenshots are okay as long as he can extrapolate the wording, i.e. obviously expand them and read them, relating to TRCH, MMAT merger, etc. through obviously announced through 2020 with regard to the MMTLP fiasco in 2022. And that will include SEC filings, press releases, FINRA notices, corporate actions, public statements from Torchlight Energy or regulators. And if you have access to merger agreements, S1 filings, that would be great. DMs only. So the Glass guy has obviously shared information there, and I think there has been a link shared with the Right Brain Trader for most of those documents, and if he does need anything else, please go ahead and contact him. And Paul T has commented here, it has been verified by an insider that President Trump is aware of MMTLP. So I certainly hope so. Again, I'm going to say that's unconfirmed. And finally, other potential good news from Dennis Neal. He states, I'm everting John Berder on what's been bugging me with George Palikaros to come on when the timing is right. He's pinged them, and fingers crossed that will happen. So hopefully we can see that. There is also potentially great news also in terms of more exposure covered in the previous video. So finally, if you would like to join us in the Discord, get daily stock alerts as well as access to our weekly watch list, and join us on the challenge, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.